Good morning, I'm Caroline Hunt from Emerald Starfish, and today we're going to look at employer branding. So what I've done is I've divided this into two parts as usual, and I'm only going to record the first part, of which there are 3 points. So we're going to look at why are employee reviews, what are they and why are they important, how to manage your reviews, and also how to get more positive reviews. Okay. So these are very different from the sort of reviews that you may get from customers or suppliers, which will be about the service that they've received, be about the products that you do. These are employee reviews, and these tend to be found on there's 2 sites in particular, Glassdoor and Indeed. And if you think about a candidate who's coming for a job with you, they're going to do, you hope, some research in terms of your company. So they're going to look kind of at the website, what products you make, something about your history, you would hope. But what they really want to know is what it's like to work there. And employee reviews are a really good way to see kind of what the flavour of the organisation is. So Glassdoor and Indeed are slightly different sites, and what they can show is they can show potential candidates what it's like in terms of the culture of your organisation, what the working environment is like, and also really kind of how much you reflect the values which might be listed on the website. So they can be really, really important. If you think about generally at the moment, we all look at reviews. You know, if you buy something off Amazon, you might click on the reviews to see what people who've already bought it say. If you're going to a restaurant, you might look at TripAdvisor to see again what people have thought about it. Airbnb is another classic example, what the accommodation is like. So we are getting more and more used to looking at reviews, and therefore reviews are getting more and more important. This week alone, and it's only on Wednesday, we've had one candidate at interview with us for a client who talked about the reviews that they'd seen online through Glassdoor and how impressed they were. And we've had another candidate for a different company withdraw because they'd read the reviews and decided it wasn't the right sort of place for them to work. So it is a really powerful tool as part of your employer branding to make sure that you're getting the right candidates on board. And particularly as well, kind of the younger generation. So generation Y and Z, over half of them will always look at reviews before they do anything else in terms of research. So if you go onto both of these websites, one of the most important things to do to start with is to claim your page. So you want to set it up so that you are managing that. You've got information about the company, it's reflecting the website and how that looks. And so that there is somewhere for people to post, because if you don't, somebody will set it up on your behalf, and you don't want that, because then you don't have the control over it. So what happens is, if you go on these, there are as a candidate, there are a number of different categories that you can star against. So this isn't candidates, this is employees who are already working for you. So they can review career opportunities, compensation and benefits, culture and values, senior management, work-life balance, and diversity and inclusion, and Indeed have a very similar list as well. So and what they can do is click on and mark each of those areas out of 5 stars. On top of that, they have the opportunity to then write some comments about the company. Both of the websites try to balance them out so that they have an area of positive pros and some of the cons of working for your organisation, as well as a free text bit. So it should be balanced. The important thing really is to see what people are saying about your organisation. In the old days or now, if somebody was to write to your company, whether they're praising your organisation or criticising it, if it was a letter, you would respond. And therefore, it's really important to acknowledge both of these. You know, if it's a negative review, you want to acknowledge and say what you're doing differently about it, so that future employees can see that there has been a problem, but you have taken it seriously and are addressing it. If it's positive, you want to thank them and acknowledge them for their words. So that's what you wanted. Sorry, I'm a slide behind. Okay, so the way to respond to a review, they should be specific and personal. So rather than giving sort of a general response to everything, think about what's been written and respond to that person. You should have some level of detail, so don't make it too brief. And the other thing is to make sure that any feedback isn't taken personally. So if you respond, you shouldn't make that personal. I think it's really important not to make the responses too short. I think, if somebody has written a paragraph, then you want to reflect that in terms of the size of your answer for this as well. So that's really important. The other thing that you need to look at is how you can get more positive responses. Lots of companies out there have reviews on their company, and they are purely by disgruntled ex-employees. People have left the organisation and thought, I'll post a review. And actually, that's not really demonstrating what it's like to work for you. That's demonstrating their grind against you. So something else to think about is how you can balance those out, particularly if you do have a number of negative responses. So the first would be to speak to good leavers. Have this as part of your exit interview. If somebody is leaving and progressing to the next stage, ask them for that review, and hopefully they will give that to you. And the other thing you can look at doing is running a company scheme. You do need to be a bit careful with this one, but I think if you frame it right, in terms of, say you're a department, the finance department, and you're looking for somebody new to join the finance department, you want a reflection of the people who are currently working for the organisation to say what it's like to work there, because ultimately they want to get the best person as part of that team as well. So I would really encourage you to speak about that, to make sure that you're getting those positive responses, to balance and get the voice of the company from people who are within the company now to be doing the reviews on your organisation. So why bother with all of this? We are recruitment specialists, and my speciality is looking at how people can improve their recruitment. So the most important thing is you will attract a better quality of candidate. If candidates are looking in a local geographical area, your reviews are better than other organisations they might be interviewing for, then you want to get the best, and you're more likely to get that. It should be part of building your employer branding strategy, which I've talked about before, and how important in terms of a medium to long-term strategy this is as part of your recruitment plan. And then finally, it helps you to address any issues that are out there online, and shows people what you're doing to support them within your workplace. Okay, so that's the end of the recording. So thank you ever so much for watching. If you want to get in contact, please feel free. Thank you.